They say wisdom comes with age. But so, too, does silence, the kind that creeps into your muscles when they start to fade, quietly, without warning. One day, you're standing tall at the kitchen counter. The next, you're reaching for support as your legs wobble beneath you. And still, the world tells you, it's just aging. But what if it isn't? What if the truth was sitting in your fridge right now, smiling at you in the form of a colorful, sweet fruit bowl? I'm not here to take joy from your plate. I'm here as your doctor, one who's walked alongside patients for decades, watched strong men lose their stride, and graceful women struggle to rise from a chair. And time again, when we searched for the cause, it wasn't always disease. It was often something far simpler. Something hiding in plain sight. Something as innocent as fruit. You see, after 65, your muscles, especially in the legs, aren't just dealing with time. They're dealing with a battlefield inside your body. One where inflammation, insulin resistance, and nutrient loss are silently dismantling the very fibers that keep you walking. And tragically, some of the worst offenders are the fruits you've been told are healthy. Let me be clear. Not all fruits are bad. In fact, some are critical allies in your fight for strength. But today, I need to tell you the truth about 7 of them. 7 fruits that, if you're not careful, can rob you of your balance, your mobility, and even your independence. And we begin with one that nearly every senior turns to on hot days, believing it's harmless. Watermelon. Its name evokes freshness, hydration, summer, lightness. But for seniors, it can be dangerously misleading. This fruit carries a glycemic index of 80, higher than a slice of white bread. That means when you eat it, sugar rushes into your bloodstream like a flood without a dam. Your pancreas scrambles to respond, releasing a surge of insulin. But as insulin crashes, what's left behind isn't just fatigue. It's hunger in the muscles. Weakness. A fog that settles in your thighs. And the danger doesn't stop there. Watermelon is made of water, yes, but it's nearly void of the minerals your muscles need to hold their ground: magnesium, calcium, protein. Worse still, its primary sugar is fructose, a compound that, in aging livers already burdened by fatty deposits, becomes a spark for inflammation. In my clinic, I've watched seniors sip watermelon juice like medicine, only to return weeks later with stiffer knees, slower steps, and unexplained tiredness in their legs. They didn't know that what they were eating was slowly draining them. Science does. A 2019 study in Nutrients followed over 1,000 older adults and found that those who consumed high fructose fruits like watermelon had significantly slower walking speeds, lower grip strength, and thinner leg muscles. Does this mean you must swear off watermelon forever? No. But treat it as a treat, not a staple. Never eat it alone. A few small cubes with Greek yogurt or almonds can soften the sugar blow. But if you wake up reaching for watermelon slices every morning, you might be slicing away your leg strength. Now imagine this: you're sitting at the breakfast table, thinking you're doing your body a favor. A glass of juice in hand. It says 100% natural, no sugar added. But inside your body, chaos is unfolding. Fruit juice, even the healthy kind, is next. When you strip fruit of its skin, its pulp, its fiber, you're not left with nutrition. You're left with liquid sugar. And as we age, our bodies lose the buffer to handle that. In youth, sugar passes through us like a breeze. But after 60, the winds change. Your insulin becomes sluggish. Your cells don't respond as quickly. Your muscles, especially those in your thighs, calves, and glutes, stop receiving steady glucose, the fuel they need to contract, repair, and grow. Instead, they begin to waste. A 2021 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that seniors who drank fruit juice regularly had 34% higher fasting blood sugar and 22% higher rates of insulin resistance. Worse, their rate of leg muscle loss was over 21% faster than seniors who ate whole fruits. And this isn't just about commercial juices. Even homemade cold-pressed juice bypasses the protective effects of fiber. It floods your body with sugar before your stomach can scream enough. The result? Belly fat, inflammation, numbness, cramps, And over time, shrinking leg strength that turns a stroll into a shuffle. I've had patients with pristine diets, no cakes, no soda, who couldn't understand why their legs were weakening. The culprit? A glass of orange juice every morning. A healthy habit turned harmful. So I urge you, replace that juice. Drink water infused with lemon, mint, or cucumber. Eat the whole fruit, skin, and all when possible. And always pair it with something that slows digestion, like a handful of walnuts or a spoonful of nut butter. Because for your muscles, a sugar flood is worse than a drought. Now we reach the pantry. And here lies one of the most deceptive dangers of all. Canned fruit in syrup. It's often kept for convenience, comfort, even nostalgia. A bowl of peaches, a scoop of fruit cocktail. But what you're spooning into your mouth isn't fruit. It's sugar masquerading as nourishment. Canned fruits lose their fiber through peeling, heating, and soaking. Then they're drowned in high fructose syrup, often made from corn, one of the most inflammatory sugars known to modern medicine. Every bite creates a sugar storm. Your blood sugar spikes, your insulin soars, and your body scrambles to manage the chaos. But it can't. Not at 65. Not with tired mitochondria, the energy engines in your muscle cells, barely holding on. A major study in nutrients found that seniors who consumed canned fruits more than twice a week had a 38% higher risk of mobility limitations. Their cartilage wore thinner. Their knees lost cushioning. Their calves burned out quicker on short walks. And the cause wasn't genetics. It was syrup. It was sugar. It was a lie wrapped in sweetness. And the most tragic part? These canned options are often chosen by caregivers trying to help. It's fruit, they say. It's healthy. But it isn't. Not like this. Replace it with frozen fruits. Look for no added sugar on the label. Choose berries, which are rich in antioxidants and low in sugar. Or better yet, go fresh. Your muscles don't need more sweetness. They need support. Next comes a fruit that's sold in health aisles, tucked into trail mixes, and praised as the perfect on-the-go snack. But raisins, for older adults, are anything but kind. They're grapes with the water sucked out. What's left? Concentrated sugar in a chewy disguise. Just one small box of raisins delivers more sugar than your bloodstream can process safely in a single sitting. With no water, no fiber, and no bulk to slow it down, the sugar surges. And your insulin, already working overtime in your 60s and beyond, can't keep up. Worse, raisins contain compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are dangerous molecules formed when sugar binds to proteins, especially collagen. And collagen is the scaffolding of your joints, the soft tissue in your knees, hips, and ankles. When AGEs stiffen that scaffolding, you lose flexibility. You gain pain. You begin to fall more easily. This is why seniors with high post-meal glucose spikes report slower walking speeds, weaker leg extension, and more frequent nerve pain. The data is not speculative. It's solid. And it's sobering. Raisins are also often processed with sulfites, chemicals that irritate the gut and trigger inflammation. For those with autoimmune issues or sensitive digestion, that inflammation becomes systemic. It spreads into the joints, into the muscles, into the very fibers of strength you rely on. You may love the taste. You may feel nostalgic about them. But if your balance is declining, if you're noticing pain where there used to be ease, your raisin habit may be part of the reason. So what can you do if you love something sweet and chewy? Reach for slices of fresh apple with a spoon of almond butter. Or try berries, especially blueberries, which carry antioxidant compounds that nourish nerves rather than inflame them. They don't just taste good, they defend your legs from the inside out. But there's another fruit, tropical, golden, and sweet, that is quietly doing more damage than many seniors realize. And it's next on our list. Pineapple. It looks vibrant. Feels refreshing. And if you read magazines or health blogs, you might even hear it called a detox fruit. But for aging legs, pineapple may be a wolf in fruit's clothing. Here's why. Pineapple is one of the highest fructose fruits we commonly eat. And that matters, because unlike glucose, which your muscles can use directly for energy, fructose must be processed in the liver first. And with age, the liver slows. Inflammation builds. Fat deposits increase. When your liver is overwhelmed by excess fructose, it begins converting sugar into fat instead of fuel, a process that contributes directly to a condition now plaguing older adults, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. This condition doesn't just affect the liver. It interrupts how the entire body uses glucose, especially the muscles. A 2023 study in diabetes care found that aging adults with high fructose diets had over twice the risk of lower body frailty, including weakened quadriceps, delayed balance reactions, and increased muscle fatigue. And pineapple? It's a high fructose heavyweight. But there's another layer. Pineapple's glycemic index, how fast it spikes your blood sugar, is around 60. That's significantly higher than fruits like berries or grapefruit. So in addition to fructose, you also get a fast glucose spike. That 1-2 punch hits aging legs hard. There's talk about bromelain, an enzyme in pineapple often praised for its anti-inflammatory effects. And while bromelain can be beneficial in some contexts, its effects in older adults, especially when consumed via fruit and not supplements, are inconsistent and minimal. When weighed against the sugar load, the harm often outweighs the help. And for those of you eating canned or juiced pineapple? That's not fruit. That's sugar with a tropical scent. It removes the fiber, concentrates the sugar, and removes what little benefit pineapple offers in its whole form. So if you truly love tropical fruit, consider papaya instead. Lower in sugar, higher in fiber, and rich in enzymes shown to reduce inflammation, especially in seniors with blood sugar issues. But if pineapple is part of your daily routine, and your legs feel more tired than they should, your fruit may be feeding the fire. We now come to one of the sweetest and most beloved fruits in the world. Mango. The king of fruits. Smooth. Bright. Sweet as summer. But for seniors, especially when overripe, mango is not royalty. It's a saboteur. Why? Because an overripe mango contains over 45 grams of sugar in a single cup. That's more sugar than a can of Coca-Cola. And sugar, as we've now seen, becomes increasingly toxic to muscles as we age. When mango becomes soft and syrupy, its fiber breaks down. That means sugar is absorbed even faster. Your insulin surges. Inflammation ignites. And the aging process in your legs accelerates, not gradually, but sharply. You've heard of glycation, the process where sugar binds to proteins in your body. In your 20s and 30s, glycation is slow. But after 60, every excess sugar molecule is like a needle stitching collagen into stiffness. Your joints lose bounce. Your muscles lose flexibility. You don't just feel older, you move older. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Endocrinology tracked seniors with high fructose fruit intake and found a 32% drop in leg muscle density within weeks. This isn't theoretical. It's real. Measurable. And it's affecting millions who think they're eating healthy. Mango, when fully ripe, is nearly pure sugar. And when eaten without protein, fiber, or fat, it becomes a direct pathway to inflammation, collagen degradation, and nerve sensitivity, especially in the legs, hips, and lower back. The impact on nerves is especially dangerous. Because once glycation begins to damage the connective tissue around your sciatic nerves and peripheral branches, tingling starts. Then numbness. Then instability. If you love mango, the advice is this: choose it firm, not soft. Pair it with something that slows digestion, flaxseed, Greek yogurt, nuts. And most importantly, eat it rarely, not daily. Because one sweet mango, for a younger person, is dessert. But for seniors already battling inflammation, it can be the match that lights the fire under their mobility. And now, we reach the final fruit. The one that's quietly lurking in the kitchen of almost every senior. The one they eat while telling themselves, "This is good for me." The one that's destroying their legs from the inside out. Bananas. I know. This one is hard to hear. They're soft. They're convenient. They're full of potassium, right? Yes, but also full of fast-absorbing sugars that your aging metabolism can no longer handle in large amounts. A ripe banana has a glycemic load that rivals soda. That means within minutes of eating it, your blood sugar spikes, especially if it's spotted and soft. The result? Insulin overproduction, fat storage, muscle fiber breakdown. Especially in the quadriceps, calves, and glutes, the very muscles that stabilize your walking, your posture, your strength. In a study from Frontiers in Endocrinology, researchers found that seniors with higher dietary glycemic loads had dramatically lower muscle endurance, leg balance, and recovery speed even if they were eating what they thought were healthy foods. Bananas lack two other critical elements for aging muscles: essential amino acids and magnesium. Amino acids are the raw material for muscle repair. Magnesium powers nerve signals and muscle contractions. Without them, your legs tire faster. Your feet cramp more. Your knees begin to buckle, not from age, but from nutritional neglect. And if you eat bananas daily, especially with breakfast, thinking they'll help your potassium levels? Be cautious. Because for seniors with reduced kidney function, which becomes more common after 60, excess potassium isn't just unhelpful. It can cause fatigue, irregular heartbeats, and yes, muscle cramping. So what do? Choose green bananas slightly underripe. They contain resistant starch, which slows digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. And always pair them with healthy fats like nut butters or seeds. Never eat bananas on an empty stomach. But if your legs are weak, your steps feel heavier, or you're recovering more slowly after walks, the seemingly harmless fruit may be quietly taking more than it gives. So here we are. You've heard the names: watermelon, fruit juice, canned fruits, raisins, pineapple, mango, banana. Sweet. Familiar. Trusted. The kind of fruits that fill our breakfast tables, hospital trays, even nursing home snack carts. And yet, behind every soft bite, is a silent theft. Not of your year's age, after all, is not a curse, but of your strength, your stability, your independence. Because what makes aging truly hard isn't the number on the calendar. It's the loss of dignity that comes when your legs begin to fail you. When stairs feel like mountains. When chairs feel deeper. When the world feels further and narrower all at once. And too often, that journey into weakness begins with sugar disguised as fruit. This isn't about fear. It's about awakening. About finally seeing the pattern behind the slow decline you thought was inevitable. It isn't. Not all of it. Not when you're willing to challenge what you've been told. Not when you're ready to trade sugar for strength, fruit for fuel. Let me share something I tell my patients. There are two kinds of aging. One is passive. It waits. It accepts decline as fate. It says, this is just what happens. And then it watches strength drain day by day. But the other? The other is active. It fights with knowledge. With awareness. It learns that what we eat becomes who we are, not just in flesh, but in freedom. You have that choice. Even now. Especially now. It begins not with medicine, or surgery, or supplements. It begins with removing the silent saboteurs from your plate. It begins with asking one simple question before every bite. Is this feeding my strength, or feeding my struggle? Because everything you eat either nourishes your muscles or inflames them. Every snack you choose either rebuilds collagen or breaks it. Every fruit you slice either steadies your balance or shaves away at it. I've walked hospital halls where once strong men sat hunched in wheelchairs, baffled by how quickly their legs gave out. I've stood at bedsides of grandmothers who whispered, "I used to walk every day," as if it were a dream they'd never reach again. I've seen patients weep, not because of pain, but because they felt powerless. But here's what I know: you are not powerless. You are never too old to protect what matters most. And it starts with your next grocery list. Yes, your fruit bowl may need to change. But so will your story. Because there are fruits that heal. Fruits that cool inflammation, support muscle recovery, regulate blood sugar, and feed your strength. Think berries, especially blueberries and blackberries. Think kiwi, pomegranate, avocados, yes, they're fruits, and papaya. These are fruits that whisper, "I've got you." That help you rise from your chair without hesitation. That turn your walks from cautious to confident. And it's not just about fruit. It's about patterns. The rhythm of your meals. The pairing of protein and fiber with every bite. The gentle switch from sweet indulgence to muscular investment. Because after 65, food is not just flavor. It is medicine, message, memory. I want you to imagine something with me. Close your eyes for a moment, if you're able. Picture yourself 6 months from now. You rise in the morning, and your legs feel steady. Your steps feel clean. You no longer hesitate to take the stairs. You walk with a little more bounce. Maybe even dance with your grandchild again. This is not fantasy. It's physiology. And it begins when you choose to stop nourishing weakness and start feeding resilience. And if that journey starts by letting go of a banana or skipping the mango, what a small price for strength. There's something else I want you to remember. You deserve strength. Not just because it's healthy, but because you matter. Your legs carry more than your weight, they carry your story. Your history. Your purpose. Your power to engage with the world. And if you're watching this with tired knees, with aching calves, or the quiet fear of another fall, know this. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are not just getting old. You are a masterpiece under renovation. And every smart, loving choice you make today is a brick in the foundation of your strength tomorrow. So go. Reclaim your plate. Reclaim your legs. Reclaim your rhythm. Start with your fruit bowl. Because after 65, your steps matter more than ever. Your mobility is your independence. Your strength is your dignity. And every sweet bite you don't take is a step toward getting that dignity back. Take it. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you care about. Your story might just save theirs. And if you're ready to take control of your health after 60, subscribe to our channel for more doctor-backed, heartfelt guides to aging with strength, grace, and dignity. Your journey isn't over. It's just getting started.